Me, Kathy Griffiths.
And me, Sandy Neal.
We've all been gathering lots of interesting news and stories for you this week. But before we get stuck into those, remember that here at the Oban Times, we are always happy to hear your news and see your photographs. You can call us on 01631 568 000, email editor@obantimes.co.uk, or message us on Facebook, Instagram or Twitter. So what's coming up in this week's newspaper? Well, I've been finding out about dementia safeguarding tags and how they work. They have been trialled in Argyll since November, and I was really impressed by how accessible they are when I visited the Oban Dementia Resource Centre. Cost of living support measures have also been announced for 4 island communities, with these including food bank grants. Amidst all the current strike action, DRAX Cruachan workers are being balloted for strike action, and a new ferry terminal has opened on the Isle of Harris, despite ferries between Harris and Uig still being suspended. My colleagues are also here though, armed with lots of news as well, and it's great to be joined by Kathy again. Welcome back, and what have you been finding out about this past week?
I thought you were going to say, what have you been up to in your week off? And I thought, I'm not going to tell you. But anyway, I will tell you about some of the news stories that I've been working on. I have met the most incredible lady called Wren Shaw. She's a mum of 3, and she's got the most glorious long hair that goes all the way down her back. Now, recently, Wren was diagnosed with cancer, and she's taken the decision to get her hair chopped and to send it off to a charity called the Little Princess Trust, and that makes wigs for children with hair loss because of cancer or other illnesses. But not only is the wonderful Wren having her hair cut, so is her youngest daughter Mary, who's only 4, bless her. So so she's got gorgeous hair as well. The pair of them are going to send their hair off to this charity to help other little ones, and they're also raising some funds for the research work that charity does. So please read the story online or in paper and give support to them if you can. Now, over on Lismore, oh dearie me, the new ferry that cost about £500,000 and finally arrived, I think it was sort of end of April, May time, after sort of a long wait. It's gone back to dry dock. Now, the council says this is just sort of for a routine service, your first year service. But actually, there have been some issues. Apparently, it was terribly noisy. It should be about 80 decibels for the usual noise level when you're on board the ship, and it was way above that. And apparently, the engine was rattling, and it was rattling loose bolts and mountings, we've been told. So, dearie me, they're hoping to get the council says they're hoping to get the ferry back sometime this month. In the meantime, they have got a sort of a stand-in service. It's Coastal Connections, who are doing a brilliant job. So that's very much appreciated. And also on Lismore, there's lots of thinking going on about the future of their wonderful church on the island, which is incredibly historic. The Church of Scotland has about 21 churches on its list that it's thinking of closing. And the community on Lismore is thinking about if they want to keep the church building in its own hands and what they could possibly do with it. So there's lots of talks going on there. And there's going to be another meeting coming up on February the 18th after a little consultation that they had at the weekend. And also, I don't know if anyone can do a little recite Tam O'Shanter or sing us a little song inspired by the bard. I'm looking across at Sandy, everybody. He's looking back across at me thinking, dare I?
You're lucky I had no warning, because I would have given it a shot and wasted all your time with a really badly pronounced rendition. So count yourselves lucky. I don't know it, I'm afraid.
Okay. Well, maybe for next year. But there was a royal return of the Oban Burns Club. They met up, about 75 people met up at the Royal Hotel for a celebration of the bard Rabbie Burns. And that was the first time they've been able to do that since 2019. So that was great work of some volunteers who are dedicated to setting that up again.
And I believe you also have an update for us on the plight of residents at the Loch Awe Holiday Park.
Yeah, we've been told by the park owners that they are having meetings with residents about the future on the site. They're still asking them to prove that they don't live there permanently, but we're hearing from residents that they're still in limbo. They're still waiting to hear outcomes. So I'm afraid at the moment, watch this space and we'll see what happens next.
Well, thank you, Kathy, and let's hope there's a positive outcome there. And I look forward to reading all your stories on Thursday when this week's newspaper will be available in local shops and garages. And what have you been looking into this week, Sandy?
Well, thanks very much, Finn. Well, parents and pupils of Taynuilt Primary School have launched a petition against the proposed dangerous removal of school crossing patrollers in council cutbacks. CalMac has a record-breaking day for bookings. An MSP is urging higher illegal fishing fines. There's more affordable homes for Islay, and also the mysterious case of 70 killie pies for coal. We've all been there. You get off a bus in Oban, heaving a suitcase of 70 Kilmarnock pies destined for the Isle of Coal, and you need a helping hand. Step forward, a mystery Oban taxi driver. You can find out more about that in this week's Oban Times. Finn, back to you.
That's great, Sandy. Thank you very much for that. And remember, you can read all these stories and more at www.obantimes.co.uk or by picking up a newspaper in local shops and garages. And don't forget, if you have a story, get in touch. You can call us on 01631 568 000, email editor@obantimes.co.uk, or message us on Facebook, Instagram or Twitter. That's it from us this week though, so it's goodbye from me, Finn Nixon.
Goodbye from me, Kathy Griffiths.
And goodbye from me, Sandy Neal.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.